No, you were laughing at the actual jokes in the movie.
There's a few good jokes. It's a movie.
A few.
It's a movie made for well-adjusted people. I'm sorry.
You laughed more than a few times.
It's time to hack the movies with Tony and Justin.
Sweet baby Jesus, Justin, how you doing?
Okay.
We've got Sweet Baby Jesus beer.
I did not feel like a beer. I have a root beer.
Oh. So do you get the pink straws on purpose?
I've had the pink straws in the kitchen for a while now. I don't know.
So yeah, we were drinking, well, I'm drinking Sweet Baby Jesus because we watched a baby movie.
Again.
Yeah, so like rewind, me and Justin used to have a show. It's been scrubbed from the internet.
Do you want to name the show or no?
Nah, let's not.
You don't want to, the show's been dead named?
The show is dead. But yeah, one episode we decided to go, because we used to do like double features once in a while.
Yeah.
And one night we saw two movies. One of them was Ghost in the Shell.
Ah.
Yes.
ScarJo.
Which everyone hated that ScarJo was in that movie because they weren't ready for strong Jewish female characters. Am I remembering that right?
I think that's it.
I think that's right. I think that's what the controversy was.
I will say the Ghost in the Shell, I actually really like how the movie looks as a Ghost in the Shell fan. And I like the song they used in the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
It was like the, all I ever wanted.
Oh, right.
All I ever needed.
I remember thinking the movie was whatever.
The Depeche Mode, I think.
Yeah. It didn't sit with me. I forgot most of it as soon as I left the theater. But we did it. We saw a second movie that night, and that was The Boss Baby 1.
Yes.
So there were four people in the theater. Two of them were me and you.
Yeah.
And we saw it at like 10:30 at night, I think.
Yeah.
And now we knew why we were there. We were there to review it and be edgelords and make fun of it, ironically, and whatnot. Kind of like when me, you, and Mike Matei saw the Emoji Movie.
Yes.
But again, this is late at night. There were two older gentlemen also in the theater with us at the bottom of the theater.
I like thinking it was us in the future.
So we were sitting there. We're like, all right, we know why we're here. What's their deal?
Listen, we're a couple pairs of gay bears, Tony.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened when the lights went down, but I think in our initial review, we said it's a great movie to give a guy a blowjob to at 10 at night. You will not be disturbed if you go to see Boss Baby at night to blow a guy. But no, Boss Baby 1 was bad.
No, so I watched it at midnight last night
No.
to get ready for this review.
Yes.
And
then we watched an episode of the show.
We watched, which is back in business.
Yes.
So the Boss Baby, back in business, and now Family Businesses too.
Yes.
And I will say that the first one, it's not bad. It's by the guy, Bloodbath McGrath, who directed Madagascar, does a lot of DreamWorks stuff.
No, the first one was really bad.
It's not that bad. People make fun of it because it's like Boss Baby and there's like babies in heaven and stuff, but all the scenes where it's like the Calvin and Hobbes style imagination scenes and stuff, those are all kind of cool. And the whole trope of like, oh, your little brother, like, because, it's based on a book series.
Yes, and like in the book, I think the idea was
the younger baby boss is around because the family's paying so much attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he decided to add this lore about a business in heaven that controls baby love and they're at war with puppies and kittens.
And fish.
To
get the most love.
For
some reason.
Yes.
Yes.
For profits? I don't know.
They don't.
But should we establish the rules of this universe?
They add there's a lot of weird rules in the Boss Baby cinematic universe.
Yes. So the babies are made, who knows how?
In a factory.
They are made in a factory, and then they are sorted, male or female.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the movie did, not us. And then they are put either into families or management.
Right.
And if you're in management, you're a boss baby.
And you stay immortal forever with a magic fluid they have that's like milk.
Yes.
That you drink, and if you lose it, you then turn into an adult.
Yes.
And at the end of the first movie, when they, because the Boss Baby is Alec Baldwin, and he's infiltrating the family as their baby. because the parents work at Puppy Co. and they have to get insider information from the company to find out what the new puppy is that's taking all the love away. Because babies are losing the love
I
war.
forgot most of this.
I watched it last night. There's some adult stuff. There's Star Wars references. There's a Mad Max Fury Road reference, the best Mad Max movie. There's a whole plane full of Elvis impersonators. There's a lot of good Looney Tunes style.
I don't remember. I remember the big fat
chase
baby.
scenes. There's
The
big
evil-
fat colossal baby.
No, not the boss one.
Oh, big muscle baby.
Yeah, Jimbo, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was
Who becomes the
stupid.
mayor of the town in the second movie.
Yes, which we
Yeah.
found out. Yeah, and then Steve Buscemi was the bad guy.
Yes,
You
he
noticed something when you watched it the
so
second time.
I was watching Boss Baby last night, and I noticed that the lip, because I have a fucking animation degree for some reason that was wasting,
No.
and I noticed that the lip flaps on Steve Buscemi's character weren't matching perfectly, and I was like, because usually they animate to the voice, like they record all the voices and they do all that work first,
Yeah.
and then they do the animation, right?
Yeah.
It's not like dubbing or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that doesn't sound right. He must have been replacing someone else.
Who did he replace?
Kevin Spacey.
oh!
Kevin Spacey was originally slated.
Alec Baldwin's Glengarry Glen Ross alum.
Right, yes. And that's the
Yes.
other thing is both men, Kevin Spacey and Alec Baldwin, were in Glengarry Glen Ross, which was the movie where it's like, put the coffee down.
Yeah.
Coffee's for closers.
ABC, always be closing.
We should have
which
done a
they
joke
parody.
where you were like, oh, can I have a beer, Tony? You're like, oh, no, beer is for movie reviewers.
I went with dumb pun about babies.
And then at the end of the episode, we're like, oh, can I get a beer now because they're reviewing the movies? And then you do something funny. But we didn't think that far ahead. Your beer is cooming everywhere.
I feel like this happens a lot. I feel like I've done this multiple times.
You're getting it all over my Nutty Professor mouse pad.
That's been gross since 2001, and you also have a replacement in your office because you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
Put that cookie down. Cookies are for closers.
So we watched the first episode of Boss Baby Back in Business.
That's the show which the new movie retconned.
Yes, Justin was very upset.
Because at the end of the first movie, when Alec Baldwin's character, the Boss Baby, becomes the head boss now,
Yeah.
and the whole family has to forget about them, they mind wipe everybody like Men in Black,
Yes,
which you've reviewed before.
I have.
And except for Tim, so the only person that the young kid Tim, voiced by Miles Bakshi, whose grandfather Ralph Bakshi did like Fritz the Cat, Wizards,
That's insane.
the second Lord of the Rings animated film.
Yeah.
He's a big animation.
We've all seen Bakshi stuff.
Yeah. So that's impressive. And then
The TV show, they have all their memories, and they're going on further adventures.
yes, so they don't explain that at all.
No. And you were very upset.
Well, because
you kept screaming, "This isn't canon. They're ignoring the lore."
first they ruined Star Wars, then Star Trek, then now Boss Baby. Is anything sacred? But I'm just saying. At the first one, he gave this sacrifice
Yes.
for his business things to lose his mind and become with his family.
Yeah.
And then they just got rid of it with the show. Mind you,
Just like Darth Vader sacrificed himself to take down the Emperor, and then Kathleen Kennedy said, "No, the Emperor's alive, and his granddaughter's gonna kill him." Same thing, if you ask me.
same thing.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm gonna drink this slowly this time.
the show is now no longer canon. There was 4 seasons of that where they fight. There's cat love and all this other shit going on. I was skimming the Wikipedia.
Well, it sounds terrible.
It is.
You know what else is terrible? This movie we watched.
It's fine.
Why are you doing?
Okay. First off, we are both man children.
Yes.
I am 37.
Yes.
And if I did what my father did, right now I would have a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 6-year-old children. I have none.
And you'd be losing fights to Tony Tarantino.
Yes, I have cats, cat babies. I know you hate that.
No, okay. Cats are not people,
Right.
and pets should not be regarded as children.
Sure.
That's something sad people do.
Flash to Kieran's Twitter. It says, cat dad. Sorry, Kieran.
I don't refer to my cat as my son.
No, he's just a prop for your social media
He's
ambition.
a prop for my social media. He was supposed to take care of the mice. He only killed one. And he's just the bane of my existence now. He doesn't let me sleep. I don't get sleep anymore. Yeah. It really upsets me.
So anyway,
I love my cat. All right, he's just an asshole.
What the hell are we talking about?
Oh, we're talking about this movie, and we're not the audience for it.
No, we're not the audience for it, but it is for an audience of millennial types who have had kids, so they can watch movies with their kids because there's so many like different things in it that it's basically,
but like the jokes are a little too old for. This feels like a movie for little kids and grandparents, if anything.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
Well, it does have a Rugrats vibe.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
I didn't watch the new Rugrats because why would you?
Yeah, why
the
would
3D
anyone?
one? But
cartoons are for children.
Then again, we did watch Boss Baby 1, 2, and some episodes of the series.
Yeah, well, we're doing it as a public service announcement to tell people not to see it.
Right.
So can we get into this movie?
Sure.
It opens up with kind of the Shrek music, but not quite.
It goes DreamWorks.
Yeah, and we were expecting like a Shrek kind of opening, like maybe they were parodying it, but then nothing happened. And then I thought we should go back in time and kill Shrek so this movie never gets made.
Wow.
And other Shrek things could never get made.
Or Madagascar or Kung Fu Panda.
I do like Kung Fu Panda. Yeah.
Well, it's like Disney. Like Disney, when you see the castle in the beginning of Pixar and stuff, it plays like the "When You Wish Upon a Star" from Pinocchio. The Shrek theme, like the melody, just became the DreamWorks theme.
Really, I don't remember that in any other DreamWorks movie.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we find out Tim has grown up now, and he's a stay-at-home dad.
Voiced by James Marsden.
James Marsden, Cyclops himself.
Which is funny because in the first one, his older self is voiced by Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
And I guess they forgot about Tobey.
And that's like the last movie Tobey Maguire has done?
I don't know.
Yeah. His last on-screen thing was that show, Spoils of Babylon, which was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then Boss Baby, and then I don't remember anything else. I know he's coming back for Spider-Man, so
yeah,
that's going to be exciting. But yeah, he's a stay-at-home dad, and he still daydreams instead of getting a job. He's just daydreaming day and night.
Right, because this has as I said, the Calvin and Hobbes style animated like dream sequences.
Right. And Boss Baby is now Boss Man, and he's super rich. And he buys his kids like expensive things like ponies and whatnot.
Yeah, I saw like Tim Templeton, everything's tea, everything's gold. I thought they'd do a Donald Trump thing, but clearly they would not. But
yeah,
12 years ago they would have.
Yeah. And then what is it? His older daughter is like growing up.
Tabitha,
and she's like getting older, and she's looking in the mirror, and she sees a "we can do it" thing. So there's some feminist propaganda in there for Newt, which I know he's a big fan of.
Well,
and
I will say, with the first one, the big theme, the big trope being, brotherly love and love is more important than work. And the younger brother, like, you have to work together, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Of course, the baby needs more attention kind of a thing. This one's kind of like, am I not cool enough for my kids?
Yeah.
These memories going away? There's some of that in there.
Yeah. Which, I mean, he has a younger kid. Why doesn't he care? Anyway, she says boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka.
Because kids today love saying boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka.
I can't count the times I've seen kids dabbing and flossing and saying boom shakalaka.
I like your floss.
I can't actually floss. I can't actually do it.
You put your hips into it.
This looks awkward because we can't actually see her arm. Also, he's trying to sing to her, and she's like, "No, Dad, I want to listen to white noise. Get out." And he's like, "Let me tell you a story. Did I ever tell you the one about your uncle?" And she's like, "Yes, he was a baby who could talk and walk." He's like, "Wasn't it good?" And she's like, "No." And he's like, "Were the jokes good?" And she's like, "Eh." And I'm like, "Oh wow, this kid's reviewing Boss Baby 1 for us."
Because the first movie, which takes place in the 70s, it had this big family core thing where the parents were like babying the first kid.
Right.
And they would play him songs, so he's trying to do that for his kid, and I guess she's growing up and growing out of it.
And he goes up into his attic to reminisce, and he finds the wizard alarm clock.
From the first one.
So from what I remember, I thought maybe it was just his imagination that the wizard alarm clock...
It is.
No, it's pretty sentient.
Yeah, but no one else can see it do things, just him.
But how does that work? Because I get magic babies, but now we have magic alarm clocks.
That's a Gandalf ripoff for some reason.
Yeah. Is this Toy Story? What is this?
I don't know. But in this one, it's missing an arm.
Right, and it's very upset about that.
It's upset about that. Where in the last one, it made a prison shank.
That's right.
Yeah, because when he gets grounded, it's like he's in jail. A lot of prison references in this movie. There was a whole Shawshank scene.
Yeah, they literally play the Shawshank music because we watch it with subtitles, and it's like, I think May or something from Shawshank starts playing. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then the dad goes to tuck in the younger daughter, and it turns out she's in management.
She's a boss baby.
She's a boss baby, and she's in the family business. She even has her own little suit.
Tony, did you know that I am a boss bitch?
You're a boss bitch. Huh. Care to elaborate?
No, that's a hashtag I saw. I thought I'd ride on it. Tony, who runs the world, Tony? Girls.
Oh, I had a different answer.
Oh, they'll come up later in this film.
Come up later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so apparently the dad remembers everything from the first one, right?
Yes.
But Baby Corp, he's like, you're from Baby Corp.
Yeah, Baby Corp, Puppy Corp. But so in the last one, Alec Baldwin's memories were completely wiped.
Yeah.
And we're going to retcon the 4 seasons of the show.
Yes.
So only Tim knows. And everyone thinks he's a crazy person because he's over imaginative.
Yeah, so she's basically like, I'm on an important assignment. We need to get our uncle. You need Uncle Ted, boss man. You got to bring him here. And he's like, we've like grown estranged and we're not really together anymore. But then I guess she fakes like a phone call. And she's like, my older sister fell and broke her arm or whatever. So he shows up in a helicopter.
Yeah, lands in the street.
Dollar bills just flying everywhere and a red carpet coming out and kicks the bike. Which, did he do that in the first one?
Yes, the bike in the first one had training wheels on it.
Right. And he walks in. He's like, oh my God, I heard there was something wrong. And they're like, no, everything's fine. And then, whatchamacallit, the brother, Tim.
No, Tim and Ted.
Tim and Ted. I'm just going to call him Tim and Boss Man.
Just say James Marsden and Alec Baldwin.
Okay.
Say Baldwin.
So James Marsden's like, listen, Boss Man, this is the new boss baby, and she's got a plan for us. And he's just like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Right, because he does have memories.
Yeah, but then she puts the pacifier in both of them.
Which lets them holographically teleport to
heaven.
To Baby Corp HQ.
Which is in heaven.
They don't say it's heaven. They just say it's up there.
Why do I remember them specifically saying it was heaven in the first one?
They bring up baby Jesus, which comes back in this one, but they don't ever say it's heaven. And they kind of drop the whole stork thing. I don't know. I didn't read the fucking book, dude. Fine, it's heaven.
I forgot there was like a stork thing.
There's a stork thing.
So does every other animal have their own baby corp? Or is it just humans?
Well, I don't know. It might be just mammals. Like, is there like a platypus?
Maybe. I don't. Well, if they're in competition with the cats, the fish, and the dogs, they must all have their own baby corp.
Oh yeah, like is Puppy Co making the puppies?
I don't know.
Are there boss puppies? There must have been in the series. We didn't watch that far in.
Oh my God, you know they're gonna do boss puppies at some point.
Huh.
It's like Air Buddies. Air Buddies go to space.
There's Space Buddies, Spooky Buddies. I remember that one.
Yeah. The Air Bud series is ever expanding. Like it doesn't stop. It just keeps going.
How long has Air Bud the dog been dead for?
Like 20 something years, I guess.
Oh no. Well, athletes. It's a shame.
So yeah, she's concerned about the school that her sister's going to.
Acorn.
This is where we meet the bad guy, who is Jeff Goldblum, who, you know what? He's having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't seem miserable. Like, Steve Buscemi, if I remember right, was whatever.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum seems to be having a lot of fun in this. But he's like a crazy guy, and he thinks kids are so intelligent, and he blames parents for holding them back. And all these schools are cropping up everywhere, and she's like, oh no, this is gonna rob kids of their childhood?
I guess they're working too hard.
I guess, because they're not having fun. I don't know. Wait, what? don't they run on love? Do they necessarily have to care about the happiness of the kids?
Please continue. Please don't even think about it. All you need to know is they need to stop this school.
They have to stop the school. And also, Boss Baby said he only had 3 years of childhood, and it was the worst experience of his life.
Yeah.
And that was a line. But they introduce that there's a new liquid concoction that they made.
Then the new super milk.
Yes, that will turn them into babies again for 48 hours.
Yeah, make them younger for 48 hours. Because they have to infiltrate the Acorn
Right. They have to
school.
go undercover. They couldn't send any of their own babies down there.
Well, Boss Baby was the best baby. They built a statue. They built a golden statue.
That's right. He has a golden statue.
Isn't that like against the first what do you call the things Moses had them? Commandments.
You shall. Well, they didn't say that it was a god.
Yeah, but they're in heaven worshiping this golden Alec Baldwin baby.
Yeah, but no, it's like you should not have any other false idols or gods before me. As long as they're not worshiping it as a god.
Right. We'll see how we get to the end by the end of the film. Because they make another one.
They do make another one. Yeah, so they drink the potion.
Well, they fight over it.
Because
the mission's only for Boss Baby.
But the daughter is pulling the strings to make sure both of them go.
Because the whole point of the movie is they want James Marsden and Alec Baldwin to get to be brothers again.
Yes. Well, that's her mission. That's not a Baby Corp mission.
She's going rogue.
Which is like a Mission Impossible thing, which this feels a lot like Mission Impossible in certain scenes. Not good, but...
One of my favorite parts of the movie is when they're explaining, when they give them the mission and they have to go in and they have to...
I'm putting it down too fast.
They have to plant a bug and put a plant in there, and it's actually a bug and a plant.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. That's a pretty funny sight gag.
Yeah, so they fight of it. They go. They do some Benjamin Button shit.
Oh yeah, they're reversing an age while time warp plays because the time warp. But then the mom and older daughter come home and they have to hide from them. Wacky shenanigans happen where they're running around as they're getting younger and they still have their adult voices.
Yeah.
But they're talking about how we're gonna go on a trip to reboot our relationship or something like that.
Yeah, and they trick the pilot into flying away.
Yes.
So the daughter and the mom think they left and abandoned them.
But they are hanging out in the attic together.
As babies. Well, he's Tim's character, James Marsden, is the same age as he was in the first movie.
Right.
Because they had to somehow write themselves into a position where, how do we do the same movie again where they're the same age? Because they couldn't be adults in the whole thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
And 4 years seems like a while between sequels like this.
Well, they have the TV show to hold it over. That was keeping the brand alive.
This is kind of a tough brand to build a franchise on.
I agree, but it happens. Anyway, and at some point they're pinching each other's nipples, and that goes on for a really long time during the time warp sequence. And Tabitha just doesn't like her dad.
Yeah,
because the mom's like, do you miss dad? And she's like, whatever. I don't give a shit, Mom. Fuck you. That's what she says.
Yeah.
It's
weird they got away with that one PG-13 curse in this.
Yeah, it's weird. I was shocked, actually.
Fuck you, Mom.
And Tim has a weird nightmare that looks like leaving Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Or the...
which we have a review of. Nobody watched it, but we have a review of.
Or it's the courtroom scene in The Wall.
Right. Which I also have a review of.
So does Doug Walker. It's pretty good. You should watch it.
I'm not familiar with that review.
Oh.
I know Doug Walker, but I didn't realize he reviewed The Wall. That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. There's a crazy judge sequence where his family is all judging him and his alarm clock is judging him, which that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then the next morning they oversleep because he's on Tim time. That's a thing that comes up later.
It's rude.
Yeah, it's rude. So they have to get to the bus, and at some point they get into sailor outfits.
Because they have to keep bringing things back from the first movie.
Were they in sailor outfits in the first
yes,
movie?
they take a dumb picture together.
I guess I should have rewatched
because in the first one,
movie.
they're pretending to be good brothers, so the parents let them do things. In this one, they have to recycle jokes from the first movie.
I really am pulling him in salad. I totally should have watched the previous movie so I knew what we were talking about.
I watched it at midnight last night.
What miserable existence is this? We're watching Boss Baby movie.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, so they go on a wild chase throughout the city because the Boss Baby can now control the pony.
Oh, yeah, you forgot about the pony.
Yeah, no, I mentioned the pony earlier.
Yeah, the pony's a major character.
Yeah, and the Boss Baby can control him.
Because I guess the pony realizes that the baby's adult self bought the pony, therefore that is the pony's owner?
Maybe. And it does a whistle like Mac and Me to get him.
Yeah.
But they cause a disaster in the town.
By the end of it, there's like a mushroom cloud.
Yeah.
They nuked the town.
They nuked the town. Everyone dies.
But I don't know if you noticed.
Oh.
This movie had 2 mushroom clouds.
It did.
And the first movie also had 2 mushroom clouds.
Huh.
Yeah.
They really like their mushroom clouds.
I don't know why I remember figured that one out, but I was thinking about that.
But yeah, so they're running around the town. The triplets from the first movie are now bike cops. But we thought that they were girls in the first one.
Yeah, but they're boys, and they're all like, they're like
they're men.
They're like YMCA. They look like the fucking Village People cops.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
and they got like the big like fireman cop mustache.
Yes, and then the other 2 babies, one became the mayor, and then the other girl became his wife. I think, or they're just friends.
Yeah, because there's the one girl baby and then muscle baby.
Yeah, and then they chase them through Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron.
Yeah, they go through. It's kind of like
where there's just one guy watching in 3D.
It's like the what the hell is the scene in
Sandlot?
The Sandlot,
where they got the Wolfman.
The beast runs through the screen. It's like that, but it's Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron, which I watched in theaters when it came out because I worked at the theater at the time with Newt, and I was like, this sucks. Yeah.
But yeah, so you're right. They make a giant like snowball that just crushes the town.
It's like
I do like that the guy with the 3D glasses is like, this looks so real. Like he has no idea.
It's like a Katamari.
Yeah.
Well, you and me were gonna watch this in theaters.
You said I got us 3D tickets and then we didn't see it in theaters.
Sorry.
I don't know if that would have helped.
Well, the other day we were doing a review, and here I forgot if that one's come out yet. I don't think so.
I don't think it has.
And we were talking about how 3D movies are dead.
Yeah.
But this one's back.
It's back, baby.
In 3D, but only at Regal Cinemas, which is weird. So now if you want to watch...
3D movies haven't really died. They're still...
No, but it's weird. But in the sense that, like a theater can have exclusivity over the 3D rights of a film.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the 3D thing now is because I think in China, your movie needs to be in 3D.
Really?
I think. I remember that was one of the rules, I think.
And then...
But...
we watched this one on Peacock.
Yes.
Because... Universal owns NBC, which owns DreamWorks. Therefore, it's so hard to figure out who owns what and what goes where. Yeah. It's really fucking annoying.
But no, there's still, I think a lot of like the big movies are still in 3D.
So I was going to get us tickets and the theater was actually packed. You couldn't reserve, I was impressed.
Well, we should have got tickets at 10 p.m. again, so we'd only have to be sharing the theater with 2 gay men. Who we would ignore because that's their right to do whatever they want. And we would have just enjoyed Boss Baby too.
Tony, Pride's Month over. You don't have to care. Jesus Christ. I'm kidding. I love gay people.
Is that like the walkway?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that? The crosswalk in the one city, they painted it overnight. Like, why not just leave it up? Philly has a Pride walk thing that's been up since like the mid 2000s.
It's Philly.
Yeah, I guess so.
They have a neighborhood.
That's true. Okay, so they finally, after nuking the town and killing everyone, they get to the school. And then they lure some kids into the bushes with $100 bills and then steal their clothes.
And switch them with sailor outfits.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we never see those kids again.
No.
I assume they just took that money and did whatever.
Yeah.
So they break into the school. Boss Baby goes with all the stupid babies.
Well, what happens was... The kids are going to school. Everything's like the whole school's on the spectrum because there's a color spectrum.
There's a color. God damn you! God damn you!
What? So there's red and yellow and green.
Yes.
We're just talking about the pride flag, right?
Yes.
And I guess all the dumb kids are on the warmer side of the spectrum, like yellow, orange, red.
Yeah.
And then the higher side, the ultraviolet side, blues, purples, is the super smart kids.
Right.
And because Tim's daughter, Tabitha, is in the blue, he switches his little necktie acorn thing with the Boss Babies and puts Boss Baby in the yellow squad, and he goes with the blue kids, so then he can creepily hit on his own daughter, which happens a lot.
He's not hitting on her, but
things are said.
Yeah.
Especially at the end.
He's not hitting on her, but I do get like Marty McFly vibes.
Calvin Klein.
Yeah, it gets a little weird.
It's weird.
It gets a little weird, and it's not supposed to be, but it comes off very weird.
And I don't know if this is some sort of indictment of the education system and like hosting up those and this competition and this strict thing versus just throw them in there and no child left behind. Let's see what happens. There's something there.
Yeah.
Because later you find out that adults are ruining the world and they made war and global warming and toxicity and all this stuff, and kids are the next chance kind of a thing. So I don't know what they're trying to say with the school or what a kid would think about it. But anyway, they're going to the smart class.
Yes. And Jeff Goldblum is their teacher, but he's on a TV screen.
Yes.
Which a lot of kids can relate to these days. Did I mention it on the show? When I was hanging out and showing my goddaughters Godzilla vs. Kong, the youngest one started playing with Legos and her dolls, and then she like built like a desk and everything, and she's like, look, it's going to Zoom school. And I'm like, wow, we are in a fresh hell, aren't we? Where this kid's imagination is, this Barbie's learning school from Zoom.
Yeah. Well, there's also I know a lot of people who are teachers, and they're just like, that the 2 or so school years that went through this or whatever, like graduating, they're fucked.
Yeah.
They're completely fucked.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, if you were in 5th, 6th grade, 11th, 12th grade, college, like, it was a huge problem.
Yeah.
So, sorry, guys.
Sorry. I mean,
we got our education.
Yeah. I failed out of college, but I passed all my film courses, and that's all that matters. You know what the smartest thing I ever did in college was, Justin? I skipped one of my senior thesis class so I can go to a book signing of a now failed comedian who pretends to be a banana, and I met you and Newt. Who would have thought, career-wise, that'd be the smartest move in the world?
Yeah, we found out today that Newt was there. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I did not know Newt was there. So the stars just aligned, and we're doing all this cool stuff.
Was that 2012?
It was 2011.
2011.
Yes.
10 years ago.
Yes.
I've known Newt for 20 years and you for 10.
Yes. And here we are, living the life, and the guy we went to see is pretending to be a banana. Anyway, let's keep going.
Sure. Yeah, so they're at the school.
Yes, and Tim.
They're in class, yeah.
Yeah, Tim is trying to like get in trouble to go to the principal's office.
Well, the whole classroom's on this weird ranking system.
Yeah.
It's almost like Jeopardy. If you get a question right, you get elevated, and if you get a question wrong, you get de-elevated.
Yes.
And Tabitha's like winning, and there's this like weird ginger redhead kid in the class that's like the bully, which that doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I mean, who's ever been bullied by a redhead before? Cut the picture of Newt Wallen and Crystal. Anyway. Speaking of that, speaking of redheads, Ted at the same time, Boss Baby, is stuck with the little kids, and there's multiple little kids there. There's Glue Kid. There's Blue Haired Kid. There's there's one more kid before the kid I want to mention. I forget what it is though. I don't know. But there's Crystal Baby.
It was like the Goth Baby.
Yeah, Goth Baby, who you guys kept calling Crystal the entire time.
Looks like Crystal.
And she's the most horrifying thing in the movie. She's the scariest thing I've seen in the movie in a long time.
It looks like Crystal.
But I love she's just like, I like ponies. And I love
that part. The movie gets funnier from this point on.
Yeah, and I do like when she's just like, "Don't stand near me" or whatever. And Boss Baby is constantly freaked out by her.
Boss Baby's goal is to escape this room, this padded room, by the way, with the other delinquent children.
Yes,
and find his way to figure out what the plan of the bad guy is, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
and Tim's job is to save his daughter or hang out with her. There's no point.
I guess learn more about his daughter and relate to his daughter and find out.
Oh, and he takes the name
Marco.
Marco Lightspeed. So he becomes Marco's Lightspeed.
Yeah,
and
he draws on a mustache and tattoos, and
because he's trying to get sent to the principal's office.
Yes, and he says everything is stupid,
so he can roam the hallways and oh no, he's on the same mission trying to get there another way. He's just crappy at it.
Yeah, but then he gets sent to the do I have it here? Hold on. Oh, he gets sent to the Amazon pod.
Amazon?
You didn't see that?
No.
It was this idea that was proposed by Amazon. They built these pods, and it was like for their stressed out workers because they have like horrible working conditions. When they're sad, they could just sit in this tiny pod and listen to calm music or something. I'm like, that is super dystopian.
Wow.
It's like, no, you're not allowed to leave work. We will not pay you. Get in the pod.
Wasn't there a thing with Amazon where the air conditioning or something broke in one of their facilities, and they realized it was a cheaper alternative just to hire more ambulances to stay out front rather than cool the employees or get fans or something?
Aren't you glad we killed small business to help those guys out? Anyway.
We just need more robots.
Yeah, so he gets put into the Amazon pet.
Oh, and it's playing Enya.
It's playing Enya.
It's like, sail away,
sail away, sail away. Which was on the Pure Mood soundtrack. Cut to Kieran's interpretation of the Pure Mood soundtrack.
Experience Pure Moods, the perfect soundtrack for your way of life.
So, Jeff Goldblum, he confronts Boss Baby.
Well, Boss Baby escapes.
First,
they make a giant machine of war.
Yeah.
And then he uses glue from the glue kid to climb on the building.
Yes. And he meets Jeff Goldblum, who is expecting him. And it turns out Jeff Goldblum is a baby.
A baby in a mechanical suit, a super smart baby.
Yes, we find out his origin in a little bit, but he is not from Baby Corp.
It's like
nor is he management.
It's like Newt was saying. It was like Baby Geniuses, like the plot for Baby Geniuses 2, which I've never seen, so I don't know what the hell he's doing.
I only saw Baby Geniuses 1, but Boss Baby I feel like does steal a lot from that. With the whole like babies are super smart before they hit a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what's the point of that? I don't know. What does he say to the Boss Baby? Because this isn't when he's taking him on tour, is it?
No, he pretty much says, "Hey, you're smart too.
Yeah.
I'm looking for like a lieutenant, it's kind of a thing.
Okay.
Come with me. It says you're blue right now. We're gonna make you purple. Purple's the smartest of all the babies.
Oh.
You're gonna come to a secret meeting tonight.
Okay.
So that you can learn about my nefarious plan. But
Right.
until now, ta-ta, Turtle."
Yes. And then he's hanging out in the playground, and that's when his brother comes to meet him.
And it does a Shawshank.
The Shawshank thing, but he's like, "Yeah, I was in the box," which means the Amazon pod, and they like they're scared
because it's like solitary confinement.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's when they have their fight.
Right. They argue. What is it like? You weren't there for me, and we're supposed to be there.
Yeah, I don't need you. Go do your dumb shit. I'll do my dumb shit.
Yeah.
The movie, I think it's an hour 47 minutes or something like that. It's like a good 20 minutes too long.
Oh yeah,
because you really feel it in this part where like there's so many times where they break up and come back together. There's like 3 times, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then this is also when the dad is trying to like pretend to be that kid and get to go home with them, and he's like, "I'm very poor."
Yeah, like he decides, oh, if I'm not going to help the Boss Baby, I'm gonna go hang out with my daughter
so I can like relate more to her. No, again, Back to the Future vibes. And yeah, then they have that secret meeting. We find out other babies are in on this conspiracy.
And
and there are also ninja babies.
There are ninja babies.
And ninja babies are chasing Boss Baby. And at one point, they all hit the wall like a flood of water, and it reminded me of the zombie cars from Fast 8.
Yeah.
Which you guys can watch that review. We talked about Fast 8, and I guess also World War Z.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then Jeff Goldblum baby saves him. And basically his whole thing is, yeah, I have all these babies just randomly hitting stuff, writing code for all these apps.
Yeah, they kind of say like it's kind of like if you have a million monkeys typing on typewriters, they'll write Shakespeare kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And they're making apps, so it turns into the plot of Kingsman at the end.
Right.
With Valentine and Samuel Jackson's
Right.
character.
Remember Kingsman 2? That movie was not that good.
They fucked it up. I love Kingsman
that
1.
prequel's coming out. The King's Man?
Yeah.
But, like, who cares about a prequel?
Yeah.
Everyone in the movie is either going to die or become evil.
Yeah.
By the time the first movie happens.
Correct.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, and they're making apps. They made a Snapchat, like cat chat app.
Yes.
Cat Snap.
And Stock Crush.
Yeah, it's like Candy Crush, but
which
stocks.
Boss Baby loves. He loves Stock Crush.
So they make apps, and it has and the I guess the crux of it, and something that's been going throughout the whole movie, is there's a pageant, a Christmas pageant.
Holiday pageant.
Holiday pageant.
Which we'll talk about because they make it very clear it's a holiday pageant.
The holiday pageant.
Yeah.
Is where the app like all the shit's gonna go bad at the holiday pageant.
Right.
And Tabitha is going to sing there, his daughter.
Yes.
And now in the whole movie, they do this whole thing like, are you actually going to be there to watch your daughter go on the play? Like, you know, like the trope where it's like, oh, you didn't come see my play. You didn't come to the big game or whatever.
Yeah. Which, again, I've mentioned in the past, I can't relate to because my dad was a cop and he missed a lot of holidays and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I can see. Yeah.
You just fucking get over it. Stop crying, kids. That's basically I don't know. Does anyone else relate to that? Huh? Anyway.
Yeah, but so
the new app he's making will give them power. Because he's like, oh, will the app give us love? He's like, no, power. And then Boss Baby's like, I'm in.
Right, because Boss Baby's kind of on his side a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Because he's like, oh, it's a baby. Yeah, they want power. Like, yeah, the adults did fuck up the world. Maybe the baby should be in charge.
Yeah. And then back at home, Tim is infiltrating his family. And then he finds out that his daughter doesn't hate him. She's afraid of like letting him down and wants to make him proud.
Right.
And then the parents show up, which I think is Jimmy Kimmel and Lisa Kudrow.
It's Lisa Kudrow from Friends and that guy from The Man Show.
Or the guy from Ben Stein's Money.
That's him.
We're right. That guy.
I don't know where he went nowadays.
Yeah.
But
I heard he cries a lot.
Oh.
Right.
He's on that Kevin Smith train.
Oh, God, yeah. What the fuck? I think he cried again recently. Like, after we made fun of him crying the last time, I think he has since cried again.
Was it He-Man related?
Oh, God, yeah, probably was. He-Man is mentioned in this. Do you think he cried at the He-Man stuff in this movie?
There's a lot of He-Man stuff in this.
A lot of He-Man
There's a
stuff.
lot of Universal properties in this. More
Yeah.
so than Disney does.
Yeah, not as much as you would think, though. You think...
I don't know what Universal owns anymore.
Jurassic Park.
None of that. Surprised.
Well, I guess they share that with Amblin. The Fast Saga. So they pretty much, that's like the biggest action franchise on Earth.
Yeah.
So they got it covered. Yeah, so the grandparents come and they were making fun of whatchamacallit. They were making fun of Tim. And they're like, oh yeah, he's on Tim time because he has an overactive imagination.
Yeah, like they're kind of making fun of him to his own face, but he doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
So that means they're all shit talking him behind his back.
Yes.
And he's
then,
like, oh.
And then while that's happening, we cut back a little bit to Boss Baby with Jeff Goldblum, and he tells his backstory, where his parents were child psychologists that made him listen to like 10,000 hours of Mozart or something.
Yeah.
And this made him so smart, but he hated his parents for not being as smart or for being in control. So he left.
I'm pretty sure Baby Mozart doesn't do anything. Remember that Baby Mozart?
I don't know.
You'd play Mozart for your baby.
Oh yeah, and instead it was supposed to like help your baby's brain.
Didn't do fucking shit.
Yeah, why did they think that would work?
You should let your baby watch Amadeus, the 1984 seminal classic.
Yes,
with Jeffrey Jones,
which was referenced in Last Action Hero.
Yes, it was.
Please don't mention Jeffrey Jones in a movie about children.
I like Ravenous and Mom and Dad Save the World.
Please don't mention Cuties fans in a movie about children.
And Stay Tuned.
God damn you. God damn you. Ed Wood. We have Ed Wood over there. He
was, what's his name?
He was in a movie we reviewed. Well, not me and you, but me and Newt reviewed Devil's Advocate.
Oh, Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's when the Cuties fans joke started. Anyway, yeah, so he like left home, and the pageant is going to be B-Day, the baby revolution.
Yeah, not birthday, baby day.
B-Day. Yes, because some of the babies get very confused. The babies from all parts of the world, because we can tell by which hat they're wearing.
Yeah, there's some of that in there, like Senor Squeak and stuff like that. There's a little stereotype stuff in there, but for no reason.
And then I like when Boss Baby goes home, the grandparents are still talking shit, and they're like, oh yeah, Ted, he tried to sue us a couple times. It's like, wow, Boss Baby was a real boss dick. What the fuck was that about?
Yeah. Yeah, now all the heroes are together.
And then
the both Boss Babies, the girl and the boy, and the brother.
Yeah, and then they're sad because they're like, they used to be so close, and now they're not anymore, and that's very, very sad.
Yeah.
But then we find out that Tabitha is a mad scientist.
Right.
Because her fish has an enlarged brain.
Oh, yeah, and it screams with a speaking spell?
Yeah. And it's like, it's trying to say hello, but it's stuck, and it's just like, hell.
Yeah, it just keeps saying hell. And it's then, like this awful fish, but its name's Hawking, like Stephen Hawking.
And it sounds like Stephen Hawking.
That's weird.
That is weird. But then the dad's trying to teach her how to, like, sing. Because she's terrible. And when she first sings, the fish just goes, please stop, please stop, please stop. But then they sing that song by Yusuf / Cat Stevens. These days he goes by just Yusuf or Cat Stevens.
Cat Stevens sings the Wild World song?
Yes. But this is some other song by him, I think. Some imagination song. And through this magic of hanging out with her dad, she can now sing more gooder. Oh, you keep looking over there. I thought maybe the camera died or something.
No, I'm just looking at myself, figuring out while I'm sitting here.
Boss Baby reads his file because his niece is like, you got to read your file. And then it's a letter from his brother.
Yeah, that was the letter that made him leave Baby Corp in the first movie.
Right.
And it was the brother saying, it was a memorandum. That was a big part of the first movie saying, hey, I love you. I'm always going to be with you every year, blah, 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 blah. And so that's where they need to get back to. So
right. And then at some point, Baby Corp is going to take care of everything.
Right.
But we see Tina like fake something. She's like, what? We need more evidence. Okay, I'll get it.
She wants the brothers to work together on it rather than call in support. So she fakes that Baby Corp's not coming for help.
Yes. To continue their mission, which I think she's putting a lot at stake there.
Yeah, a lot of stake. Because this is like a global, pretty much every adult will become a zombie and die.
And at this point, Boss Baby has fixed the wizard's arm with a He-Man toy.
He-Man arm.
Yes. So
he has the Sword of Power.
Yes.
And Castle Grayskull's there.
Castle Grayskull's there, which sits in Newt's office. Toys. They're for children, am I right? So their plan is to go there, put a computer chip inside Jeff Goldblum's mech suit. Just talking about this movie, it just feels like I'm making up bullshit.
Right, because they do a scene like Ocean's 11 style or
like Mission Impossible.
Or like Edgar Wright thing or Mission Impossible where they talk about what they're going to do and then you see it go down.
Yeah, and their plan is to like control him and then empty out his suit, and then everyone takes pictures of him because he was exposed as a baby man.
Weird.
Very weird. So when they get to the pageant, Boss Baby finds out that the app is a way to like brainwash people.
The picture app.
Yeah, and basically you can control their mind. And at the pageant, they're singing about all the countries and people around the world that celebrate holidays at that point in time. And they go from this country and this religion, and then they go to just agnostic, and it's just a kid.
Yeah, in all black, looking like Steve Jobs.
Yeah, just blowing a bubble. They're like agnostic, and then they're like, and Hanukkah, and then there's a bunch of kids.
Yeah, they're like Christmas and Diwali and agnostic. That's probably one of the funniest parts of the movie.
That one was proud. Give the movie that.
With the snow in this movie, all that, this was clearly supposed to come out 6 months ago.
Yeah,
this is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those like, let's hold out. Maybe we can get it in theaters, and then
why not just wait till the end of this year? Is something else coming out that they didn't want to compete against? I don't really keep an eye on that kind of thing.
Well, Universal just put out Fast 9, which is going to clean house pretty good. Maybe they just need something to push the app. Like they had to put
Peacock,
it
yeah.
They had to put it in theaters because why not? But yeah, that's a good way to push the app. I mean, it worked with HBO. They put Godzilla vs. Kong in theaters,
which is
and
weird
on the app.
because the last movie had like a budget of like $120 million or something, and this one only got 80.
They didn't have to work that hard this time.
Oh, because they had tech.
They have the show, they have the merch, they have a built-in franchise. True. This is just like another.
You don't got to pay Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, this is just like a commercial for their Boss Baby shit.
That's true.
It's kind of like
in fact, when we turn on our TV, there was an ad for Boss Baby on the fucking TV.
The ad on the Samsung TV was like, "Watch Boss Baby 2 right now." I forget when this comes out, but we mentioned it in like the Toy Story episode, which either comes out before or after this. But no, that I mentioned in that like Disney had that model where they're like, "Oh, we'll put less money into the sequel. People are gonna buy it no matter what."
That's true.
Yeah, it's a smart business model.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make for a good movie, but it's a smart business model. So yeah, the dad is sad because he has to like stop this like plot, but then he's gonna let his daughter down because that's like a big thing. He needs to see her sing, or she needs him to see her sing.
Even though like I've done stage stuff before, like you can't see anyone in the fucking audience.
Which,
it's
to
so
be
bright.
fair,
they do show a little bit.
They do show.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go to stop the plot, but it turns out it was a trap. Jeff Goldblum was on to them the whole time.
Also, the song they sing sucks.
You were singing it.
Yeah, because
Can I point out that also, not only were you singing the song, you and Newt were laughing at like most of the jokes in this.
It was funny.
You were it was embarrassing.
We're laughing at what? Like, oh, that looks like Crystal. Ha ha ha. That's what we were doing.
No, you were laughing at the actual jokes in the movie.
There's a few good jokes. It's a movie.
Exactly, a few.
It's a movie made for well-adjusted people. I'm sorry.
You laughed more than a few times. Newt, I think, was legitimately liking it.
Well, Newt's a well-adjusted adult, and I look like a giant toddler. So, I'm the boss baby.
So yeah, he captures them and puts them in the Amazon pod. But then he starts filling it with water like he's going to drown them.
Yeah, the ninjas put him in there.
Yeah, that was a little...
Yeah, he's gonna drown them to death. I wish that it played the NES song stops, but I wish you heard it underwater like.
But yeah, so Tabitha goes to sing her song,
yes.
And like I said, the lights. She can't see that her dad's not there, so it gives her the confidence. She just pretends he's there. She uses her imagination. Oh my god!
Oh, they get kidnapped before the song plays.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
And then she sings the whole song, and it's about being friends or whatever.
Yeah. It's like together we're friends forever.
Yeah. But while that's happening, people are trying to take pictures of their stupid kids, and they're all getting zombified.
Because when they take a picture of themselves, it zaps them.
Yes, and then so everyone's zombies. Tabitha's sad that her dad's not there.
Well, Tabitha thinks everyone's just taking videos of her and laughing at her.
Oh, right.
Because no one's clapping except for Boss Baby 2.
Oh, right.
Electric Boogaloo.
But then Jeff Goldblum goes out to celebrate. And he controls them and makes them dance like the deleted scene from Ghostbusters 2016.
Yeah, well, now he controls all the parents and stuff. And all the other kids at the Acorn Academy didn't realize that he was a baby. And they're like, wait, our parents are zombified, you're a baby? And some of them are like going with it and some aren't. It's like this weird...
Yeah.
They're like child soldiers.
Yeah, it's bizarre. You think like the older kids would just beat them up.
This is the plot of Metal Gear Solid 5.
The video games are for children. Can you explain what happens in that?
Metal Gear is a movie, not a video game.
Right, it's a movie. I forgot. Because I remember someone once put it on a PlayStation, and they said, we're going to play Metal Gear 5, but then nothing... I didn't do anything for an hour.
The PlayStation plays DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff, yeah.
Right, I thought it was a video game, but I remember me and my friend, we didn't touch the controller for like an hour, and things were happening. I'm like, oh, this is clearly a movie. Weird. Why don't they put those in theaters? That's bizarre.
Well, they are making a Metal Gear Solid movie.
Oh God!
With the guy from who directed
Kong Skull Island.
Skull Island, yeah. Who's in Death Stranding? And I got a 5-star at his place delivering parcels, and he didn't thank me on Twitter.
Wow. Wait, what place? What?
It's like FedEx Simulator. Amazon, you like bring people packages, and I got 5-star the director, and he didn't thank me on Twitter.
What a jerk. Do you have proof of that? We'll tweet this.
Oh, I got proof. I got the receipts.
We're gonna, hey, Jordan Von Robert, I think your name is. Acknowledge Justin Silverman. Acknowledge him.
Fellow Jew, too.
Fellow Jew, okay? Acknowledge your fellow Jew. What's the Jewish word for brother?
Broseph? I don't know.
Also, I don't think it's Jewish.
Jewish, I think it's Hebrew, yeah.
Hebrew or Yiddish. I don't know. Anyway. So who saves them from the Amazon pod?
The horse.
Yeah, the horse who never left the school and no one was wondering where the horse was. I feel like that'd be a big deal.
And they whistle for the horse.
Yeah, and he shows up and he just breaks them out of the pod. And he could just run through walls and shit. And I kept saying, like, is this horse from, like, Krypton? Like, how the fuck strong is this horse? This is the
there is a super horse.
Yeah, and he's in love with Supergirl. It's weird.
Well,
the 50s and 60s were weird with comics.
Okay.
So yeah, ninja babies fight, and the good babies fight them, and the goth baby, Crystal, has the scariest scene in the movie.
Great scene.
Where she's like turning off the
and...
lights. She's like a ghost monster thing.
Yeah.
She beats him up, but I like when they're on the pony. She's like, I like your pony. And Boss Baby just picks her up and throws her away.
Thank you.
But yeah, then Tina gets into the mech suit. He has multiple mech suits.
I didn't realize he had multiple mech suits.
Yes.
So he has one for his suit, or his tuxedo, and then he has a leisure suit.
Yes. And he goes to... They fight each other, so it's like Aliens. She has to get in this suit to fight the bigger bad guy.
Right.
Oh,
right, because they find out that the server room is in the giant acorn at the center of the complex.
Right.
And they have to get the acorn to stop the worldwide transmission of the bullshit, because it is like Kingsman.
Yes.
At the end of the movie.
And they're all fighting. The Boss Baby and the brother get stuck, and they're surrounded by the parents who are zombified, and he says it's Night of the Living Boomers.
Grandpa, it's Night of the Living Boomers.
And that's when the movie turned it around for me. I'm like, oh, we're shitting on boomers
you know what?
now? I'm into it.
The trailer, Boss Baby 2, the little girl, said something about boomers in the trailer, and they cut it out of the final.
There was
that.
There was a joke about liberals in the first episode of the Boss Baby show. She's like, I didn't know your brother was a liberal.
Wait, isn't this the plot of Terminator Genesis with the phone app? Like Skynet's a phone app in that, right?
Yeah.
This is what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an operating system.
I can't remember a lot of that movie, to be honest.
I don't know if you want to make a sequel that's ripping off Baby Geniuses 2, Kingsman at the end, and Terminator Genesis.
We forgot to mention that earlier in the movie, when the dad was trying to bond with his daughter, he made like a volcano with Mentos and soda, and she wasn't impressed by it anymore. And then at the very end of the movie, Mentos falls covered in soda.
Well, because it's a baby who's able to... Because Jeff Goldblum's character is a baby who can do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. They're eating a lot of candy and soda all the time.
Yes.
You know, because you're not supposed to eat vegetables and green beans, which they show in the... what do you call it? The animated series.
Yes.
There's a lot of vegetable eating.
Hey, Justin, that's not canon. Don't reference it.
Whereas in this, they go through the whole, dropping breadcrumbs of foreshadowing of, soda, candy, Mentos, blah, blah, blah. But if you remember, the Mentos soda ending was done by the Angry Video Game Nerd in the Pepsi Man episode, which was my idea, and Boss Baby 2 stole it.
Man, I can't believe people would steal your ideas. Do you know any other people who might have stolen some ideas you've had?
You will find out in, what was the episode we did the other day?
Dread. We did a Dread review, and I talk all about everyone stealing my ideas. So look out for that episode, or watch it if it's come out. I forget the schedule.
I think it's in August.
Okay, yeah, watch that episode to find out all the people who have wronged Justin Silverman.
The list goes on.
Don't skip the Dread 3D episode.
Yeah.
So
the Mentos and soda explode.
Yeah, but I like this part where they go to pull the sprinkler, and then nothing happens.
Right before they do the Mentos and soda, they're gonna wet the room with a sprinkler.
Yeah,
like a fire extinguisher sprinkler.
But then nothing happens. He's like, the school is very expensive. I had to cut corners somewhere. It's like, oh well, everyone could have just died without a sprinkler.
Well, that's
system.
kind of a misnomer, or I don't know what you call it, like a myth. Whereas if you pull a fire alarm, all the water doesn't go off. It just alerts everyone.
No, it's just,
The only reason the things go off is because the little material, the filament in them gets hot, and then it pops.
Yeah.
And then the water comes out, because it's holding the water at bay.
Yeah, I don't know why people thought...
They're not... I mean, there's like Halo system and shit. You pull it and like all the gas and shit
come
down.
Yeah, there's specific ones, but like just the basic ones, because I know this because I remember in school we had assholes who would pull the fire alarms all the time. The sprinklers never went off.
Oh, in my high school, there was a bunch of bomb threats and people pulling fire alarms. And what it ended up being is some kid was doing it and then going out where everyone was like huddled up, like the whole senior class, and was just selling weed. And he was making thousands because everyone was out there. He was just doing it like all week. And then a bomb sniffing dog found all the weed in his locker and he got arrested. And I don't know what happened to him. So anyway, fire safety is
I'm
important.
sure he made a lot of good decisions in his life.
That's what happened. It was, you know, he didn't get to go on senior trip.
Oh, darn.
We went to Disney World.
He didn't get to go see the movie Senior Trip, which I think was a National Lampoon movie.
It was.
The trailer played for it on the Dumb and Dumber tape. That's all I know. I don't think I've ever actually watched that movie.
So anyway, the Mentos and soda blow up the Acorn server room.
Yes.
And stop the virus or the phone app.
Whatever the fuck it was.
The MacGuffin.
Yeah, and then this is also weird because then like this is when the alarm clock shows up.
Yeah, and once the fight, even though it doesn't need to, and you don't know if it's real or not.
Yeah.
And also their magic potion wears off, and they start aging again.
Yeah, and he's got a long mane of hair.
Yeah, it's all happening weirdly.
Yeah, and so he's beating everyone up while the dad is, climbing the tree to save his daughter, which he does. He's like, I was your dad the whole time. You're like, oh, she's like, oh, wow, I told him a lot of things. And
it's
like,
weird.
But not like, but like we saw, she didn't tell him anything weird. But that
it's a weird line.
It's a weird line. Yeah, and Tina, she teaches Jeff Goldblum. She teaches Jeff Goldblum a lesson about like family. Yeah, it's all about family. I don't know if you know that. It's all about family.
Family.
Familia. Yeah, she teaches him about family, and then everyone reunites with their parents, including the Jewish boy and his black dad. They reunite. And it's just a happy ending.
Well, just because he's wearing a dreidel doesn't mean he's Jewish.
So he's appropriating your culture? You're not going to stand up for that?
It seems like something his father should be instilling values into him, not me.
Yeah, so at the very end, Boss Man, he's not there on Christmas and gives them a bunch of presents, including a giant gold statue of the dad, but when he was a little boy.
That's weird.
But he's holding the thing that says world's greatest dad.
That's weird.
It's bizarre.
Because Boss Baby has its own gold statue, and now Tim does, but they're both kids in it. And now there's a giant gold statue in his front yard that's facing the house.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But it turns out he is there. And they fight. And then they make up. And then Jeff Goldblum goes back to his parents. And then the movie ends. Who cares?
There's a scene where the mom picks up the phone of they have like the little phone from Toy Story or like from the 70s.
Yeah.
And she goes, hello. And like, it's almost like they were sequel baiting with that, but it happened so quickly. You're like, wait, what?
Like she's going to accept a mission from Baby Corp?
And also in the credits, there's no mid-credit scene. There's no post-credit scene either.
Like, why? Thank God. They're like, hey, parents, you've suffered enough. Get the fuck out of
here.
But
aside from the, we talked about the visual effects and a lot of the editing's really good in this film, I will say. Camera's always moving. Animation's kind of sloppy, but first one had that good as well. No. But did you like the music in this film?
No.
Like not like her singing, but the actual like score and stuff?
No.
But it was the same composer as the movie you were in, Hans Zimmer.
Oh, it was?
You don't like Hans Zimmer?
Listen,
he did Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight Rises, you asshole. Get it right. Lives? Look, I like Hans Zimmer. I think his music's very good, but he's hit or miss.
I feel
he
like
also did the music for Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Junkie XL.
I feel like this was like, hey, you owe us 10 movies deal with Universal. Yeah. Because I'm like, why the hell would
also there's times where Hans Zimmer will just like rehash some of his stuff. So Hans Zimmer, I do love Hans Zimmer when he's motivated and he wants to do a good job and he's excited about the project. But I don't think he gave a shit about Boss Baby 2, and the music did not stand out to me.
And doesn't just rip off one of his old scores?
No. Yeah, and that was Boss Baby 2. I didn't like it. I didn't really enjoy it.
I don't know. They're going to make a third one, but I don't know what they're going to do.
I think they'll just do another show. It's easy. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
You know, you have a whole new generation of kids who just saw this, and they're like, oh, now I got to see the first one. Oh, there's a TV show, so... The first one did well, right? it spawned a whole thing. People liked it for some fucking reason.
I mean, this one was on par fine with the first one. Jeff Goldblum was good.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum seems like he's genuinely having fun.
It's not like Cars 2 or Incredibles 2 where I'm just like,
Yeah.
Or Shrek 2 was better than Shrek 1 in many ways.
I know, and that's DreamWorks.
And I feel like Boss Baby 2 could be better than Boss Baby 1.
And I like, you know what? I like, speaking of DreamWorks, the Kung Fu Panda movies.
Yeah,
even
right?
though they are for children.
Madagascar's okay.
No.
I like the penguins.
No, fuck that. The Kung Fu Panda movies are actually a lot of fun, though. But that's another one where they had that had a TV show.
It did.
So didn't Barnyard also have a TV show?
Oh, Barnyard.
So that's what they do. They make the movie to push a TV show, and then they do a sequel to push like a video game or something.
The rich get richer.
The rich get richer, and the boss babies get bossier.
Well, that was the name of the book, Bossier Baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's weird. They didn't use that one. Anyway, that was Boss Baby. It sucked. I didn't like it. I hated it. I pitched this episode as a joke, and then everyone agreed to it. So here we are with Boss Baby 2.
Well, it's, we figured we talked about Boss Baby 1 on our former failed podcast.
Yes.
And we can talk about this on your current failed show.
No, it's a very successful show.
Not this episode. Certainly not.
As long as it gets more views than the Pokemon episode, I am fine. Anyway, that was it from us. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I hope that at the time this comes out, we've been doing the voicemail segments. As you know, we filmed these out of order, and we're about to record the first voicemail segment, which will be in the podcast version of the show exclusively.
And remember to watch the Dread episode that I will be in.
Watch the Dread episode that he will be in, maybe in August. And watch all the episodes. They're all good. Every episode's good. And make sure to subscribe, too. Please. And thank you. And no, don't forget about Patreon. Patreon's fun. You were in a recent mailbag video we did on Patreon. You opened up 1 million Pokemon stickers, and you felt the need to say the name of every single Pokemon.
Yes.
And it went on for a long time. So check that out on Patreon. Anything you want to say, Justin?
I'm good, thank you. Oh, follow me on Twitter so I have more Twitter followers than Tony at Hack the Movies. Thank you.
Jerk.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.